Alright, here we go. Welcome to the first look at Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2. I'm currently playing this on the PS5, the PS4 version, but played on the PS5. What can I say? This is more than just a remake. This is a love letter to a time when all you needed was a board, a radio and a dream of landing that perfect 900. Let's dive in. If you played these games back in the day, this moment right here, it hit hard. The controls are tight, the physics are dialed in, and yeah, the game feels like Tony Hawk's. Not just visually, but the way you string your tricks together, the way you bail, even the timing of the manuals just hits. Vicarious Visions crushed this. It was a risky project. Activision basically gave them one shot, get it right. If this remake flopped, Tony Hawk's as a series was done. But they've nailed it. Alright, let's talk about the soundtrack. Right, it matters to get the soundtrack right. With this game, it wasn't just the background noise in the originals, it was a culture. Punk, ska, hip-hop, early 2000s angst, all smashed together on wheels on pavement. Most of the iconic tracks are back. There's Goldfinger, Rage, Bad Religion. They're all brought together with some new artists as well. Some of them hit, some don't, but it all blends together a lot better than you could expect. A lot of these tracks that they brought back, you may know, are due to licensing issues and stuff. As a little extra nugget of information, a lot of the licenses when negotiated for the first game originally weren't negotiated with end dates. The game was so hashed and put together quickly, they never thought to actually do the deal properly. So Activision ended up with these licenses that last a lifetime. So a lot of the tracks in the original game have been brought back.
So this is going to be the first part in what I guess is going to be a collaborative series between me and you, and I just want to get my point across to begin with and just see really what you think of the game as well. So I bought Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 when it came out. I've got the version on Epic. I'm pretty sure you'll play the PlayStation version. I also want to grab that as well because I'm a big PlayStation guy now and I prefer having the physical media. But what I'll say about the game is it delivered for me everything I wanted. Yeah, it didn't feel quite like the original, and the original will always be up there for me. When I talk about the original, I'm talking about 2. I feel that I never really played 1, and going back to play it on an emulator after the fact kind of felt odd to me, like it felt a bit stiff, felt like things were missing. Things like manuals didn't feel the same. I'm not even sure if they were in there. But what this remake did is it merged the two games and gave you an experience that felt sort of nostalgic, but at the same time new. Case in point of that was the soundtrack. They brought back a load of the tracks that I love. I'm not too sure what you think of the soundtracks or whether you've got nostalgia for those, but for me, it was the soundtrack to my youth. So things like Papa Roach, Blood Brothers, some Bad Religion in there, some, I think Alien Ant Farm was in there, or maybe they were in the third game. But there were just so many tracks, Power 5000, and all of these bands, when this game came back out, they were really hyping it up as well. So they were really behind the revival of this series. And they were well aware of the impact that they made within, obviously, their own niches at the time, but also how this game helped catapult them. When it comes to playing the game, it feels almost like the original game. I had almost the same amount of fun with it, but it does feel different, and it's good. The devs did say at the time that they revisited the old source code, which was, needed massively because they tried to remake this game previously, and I've never even seen footage. I know that it just didn't do well for them. If you're playing 3 and 4, then I'm kind of jealous, so we'll grab those. I think overall 3 is my favourite game. I just feel like it improved on everything that was good about 1 and 2. Like, it really was a leg stepper. I don't even have that much nostalgia for it versus the second game, but the nostalgia I do have, the popping the game into a PS2 for the first time and seeing those incredible graphics and hearing the audio quality be so much better than it was on the PS1 was really cool for me. With that being said, when I've gone back to play the second game, I usually use the Dreamcast version. It's kind of everything you love about the first game, but with higher quality. Models are a bit better, graphical quality is obviously better, and the audio quality, which to me meant everything, was just so much better. There are some things missing from the new version. I distinctly remember unlocking Spider-Man in 2. I don't think you can do that now. There were a bunch of just strange and weird and wonderful characters that were unlockable in 2 that I don't think are there now because of rights issues. But yeah, with all that being said, I probably didn't touch upon the gameplay as much as I could have. I've only recently learned how to play the game. I think, like skateboarding itself, when the game came out, everyone played it and everyone loved it, but no one was good at it. So I felt like coming back to it and playing it was sort of an eye-opener. I genuinely think I've become better at games as I've grown up, as opposed to those people who think, "Oh, how did we play this when we were younger?" It's the revival of this franchise is not unlike the revival of Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, which maybe is something we'll both touch on at some point in the future. But for now, I want to say that this remake is very good. It's one I still play. It's something I love. And I'm going to hand it over to you.
Honestly, you couldn't have said it better. This game is not just a remake, it's a restoration. They've rebuilt it with care. You've got levels from Tony Hawk's 1 and 2, recreated in full HD glory, modern lighting, but without the loss of soul. A lot of games you get that are remastered. Okay, it's the same game and it feels familiar, but it's missing something. This feels different. It feels exactly like a Tony Hawk's game should. And brought back the Creator Park mode, and I don't know if you played much of that when you was a kid growing up, but putting together a park that had your own blend on it was just amazing. Look, if you're new to the series, this is the best way possible to jump in, and if you're returning like me, what can I say, welcome home. Dust off the old combos, put on your old bounty, start chasing that skate again. Thanks for watching this first look. I'll be posting more sessions, maybe even a few multiplayer runs if we get round to it. And remember, don't bail.